So once again, compared to this lecture of second part of this Java interview question, where we resolve this Java interview question, program for sorting array element in descending order of their frequency, where we given a input, that is a we organize in descending order of their frequency, and there is a first note is the collection method is not allowed here. So we completed in the previous lecture of the first step where we sorting this array element, and mostly step 2 is also completed in our first lecture. Okay, but we given a error, so here we recognize this error and resolve this error where c less than 2, where we placed x. Okay, so we know the our column is 2, the length of the our column is 2, so here place the column of length is 2 and 2 times it iterates. First column is indicate to the number of their which is present in our array element, and second column is represent to the our frequency of their number. Okay, so now run this code. So we got some result here. Okay, where we got a result in two-dimensional array. So the first column is which is represent the array of element where number 1, and second column is the frequency of this number 1. Okay, so element which is have a 1 and it's the 2 times present in our input variable. Let's check. So there in the input variable 1 which is present in is the 2 times in our input variable. So second row where is 2, in the first column 2 is the number which is present is the only once in our input array variable, that is 2. Okay, so similar for 3 which is 2 times in placed in our input variable, and 4 is for 4 times, and 6 is the 3 times is present in our input variable. Okay, so check. So we delete this for loop, we did not require this to print here. Okay, so now after complete second step, come back to our third step, which is to sorting this 2D array in the descending order of their occurrence. Okay, occurrence, what is mean by occurrence? Occurrence means the number which how much time which presents in our array element. So that time of occurrence to sorting this 2D array elements. Okay, that is there means 4. The number 4 means the element 4 which is 4 times which present in our input variable which is highest of the occurrence in our input array variable. Okay, so it's after sorting, that is a place at the first row. Okay, and before sorting this 2D array in the first row, that is an element 1, but after sorted this 2D array we got the first position which have a 4. Okay, in terms of their occurrence. So now complete coding for this step 3 task. Okay, so now come to our compiler, and here we once again define a method b equal to sort b. Okay, so here sorting this b input array element, okay, where we define that is b two-dimensional array, we passes this method, and after we given get a return value which is stored once again in the that's return back to the our b variable. Okay, so that is there is a two methods, sort and sort, but we provided the different signature of the argument, so that is the overloading. Okay, and you know overloading concept. What is the overloading concept? If you not know what is the overloading and overriding, that type of concepts, the encapsulations, abstractions, and the basic concepts of principles of object-oriented programming. So you can watch this video, object-oriented programming in Java, that is done in our school. Okay, technicalgeek.jnr.com, and you can watch these videos on our YouTube channel Technical Crush. Okay, there is our channel. So now come back to our coding. So we define here once the method public static. Okay, it's given a result 2D array and sorry sort. Okay, the method name is sort, and here we pass array variable which is 2D array, and inside of this curly braces uh, first we declare single one dimensional array. Okay, new int, and that is the length of this variable 2. Okay, and here we create a for loop int r equal to 0, r less than x, r plus plus. Okay, and inside of this for loop represent the row of the two-dimensional array, and second represent the column of the array. Okay, second for loop. Okay, now compare to this array element in the if block where b r greater than 1 is greater than b is greater than c. Okay, so that's the first here we bubble sorting technique to uh, sorting these two-dimensional array elements, where first for loop is indicate the first element of the two-dimensional array, and second is compared to the other element, is compared to the other element this first element. Okay, so where is r? R is indicate b of r of 1 indicate the column, means second column, which represent the frequency of number. Okay, that's your frequency of number, that's your second column which represent the frequency of this number, and compared to this column. Okay, so first column first element means first number of second column is 4. 4 compared to the all rest of this second column of elements, and if it's greater, so it's position at last, and least amount of this column, least amount number is the of this column is positioned to the top of the column of second column. Okay, so now compare this, and where c is the r plus 1. Okay, so r is 0, so c is 1, so b r of 1 is greater than c of 1. Okay, if it's greater, now copy to the value of bc1. So let's store the b c 1. Okay, that is the b of r. And here we copy this c to the b of here we declared c. Okay, so now all right, after swapping this return single dimensional array, which is C. Sorry, C. So sorry, there is no C. There is a B. Okay. So it's a if block, that is here. There is in last. Yeah, here. Okay. So our sorting is successful. Okay. Now once again we for loop here. Let's check that will successfully work or not. Okay. Into I less than x and I plus plus, and inside of this for loop we for j. Okay. It's for j, which indicates to the column. Yeah, there is a j, and system dot out dot print b of I j. ठीक है. And so now run this code. Let's see the B is sorted or not. Okay. Oh, some got error. What is error? That's the error class expected I equal to 0 int I less than x. Okay, some declaration will be fault. Let's check what there. Okay, there is error. We second in the for loop. Okay, syntax of for loop was wrong. No, so all that's fine. Now run this code once again. Let's see what's happened. Once again we got error int c equal to r plus 1 c less than x. Variable c is already defined in your method sort. Okay, I know as well there is a error will come. Okay, that's the C. Where there is the. Okay, now change this syntax C to the t variable. Okay, and because we here the ones define a variable integer C, so that's the collision between this array variable and this is integer variable. So change this variable C to the t. Okay. Okay, there we little think that the error between b r of 1 which goes to the t, and that is a two-dimensional array and it's a one-dimensional array. So the convention means conversion time is not same. So that's we got error. So we eliminate this column index here from here and this. Okay. Now run this code once again. Let's see what we got a error. Now run this code once again. Okay. Now we found this two-dimensional array, and that println we use here. And now we got a sorted two-dimensional array. Okay, in the ascending manner. We want it's in the descending manner, but we got this data in descending manner, that the in terms of frequency. Okay, so for this we require changes here. That is simple. X minus 1. And once again run this code. Let's see what happens. So we got all the elements in terms of frequency in the descending manner. Okay, 4 3 2 2 1. Okay, now after this sorting this two-dimensional array, uh, what the last task our of this question, that is print the all elements for the 2D array. Okay, so to which got a 2D array elements of the b variable, which print in terms of this. Okay, so for this what we required for do, first we delete this for loop, or we coding for this only checking. Okay, now here we simply print this two-dimensional array, okay, in terms of one dimensional. Okay, where second column which not required to print, it's basically for condition. Okay, so here we declare, once again we declare counter variable I, where I less than x, and increment I plus plus. And in this for loop we create once again this for loop, for int j equal to 0 and j less than, and it's how much time to iterate, it's iterate to b I. Okay, and second column is index. Okay, so this I equal to I and 1 which present here. Okay, this time top times it iterates. Okay, and inside of this simple system dot out dot println. Okay, and here is what will need to print, b of I 0. Okay, we need to first column of array, two-dimensional array. Okay, b I of 0, because first column is a number. Okay, which is placed in our input variable. Now print this code. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there we got a array in the sorted manner in terms of frequency. Here we remove this ln element, because ln is for only a next line. Okay, so we don't require the next line. So here we got a sorted element in terms of frequency. Okay, where is the highest descending order of frequency? 444, which is placed 4 times in our array element, and after that we got a 6 element which is 3 times placed in a input array element, and less than, and after that is 1 which is 2 times placed in our array element, and similar for 1, 3 is also 2 times placed in our array element, and last is the 2 element which have a frequency 1, and it's the 1 time placed in our elements. Okay, so you understand how the code is running. First we in the main method we get input elements, and now we sorted the input elements in terms of ascending order, and where we using this method, sorted method. Okay, and here is the bubble sorting techniques. We return input, we return array, sorted array, which store return back to this array variable. Okay, and after that we create a two-dimensional array, and this reason for declaring a two-dimensional array, because we need to some elements in the first column, and how much time each element present in this array element, input array element, which is placed this value into the second column. So that's why we create a two-dimensional array, where bx of 0 which represent the elements of this input element, and bx of 1 which is represent the 1. And here why we create x, because we don't know how much time to iterate, how much time for row we require to store this value. So we here create the static input x equal to 0, and when with this sorted element to placed in our two-dimensional array here, so it's first for loop which represent the row, and second don't represent the row, first of that's iterate to the 8 dot length time, and if you first means the second element is compared to the first element and both are same, then increment in the column second column index, and this number is placed in the first element. Okay, and after comparing, and if they are not same, then increment in the x variable, and once again bx of 0 it's a of I and bx of is 1. Okay, after that for loop we increment in x plus plus, and when we get values in the second dimensional array b, okay, now we another task is sorted that two-dimensional array in terms of frequency. Okay, so now once again we created a sorted method sort b, where we passes this argument of second two-dimensional array in the parentheses of sorted method. Okay, so let's see, there is a two sorted method between difference between them, that is the first sort method is the passes to the single dimensional array, and second sorted method is passes to the two-dimensional array. Okay, and that the concept is overloading. Okay, so now in the second dimensional array, first we create a temporary which is a single dimensional array, and the once again we for loop two for loop use. Okay, first for loop is indicate to row and second for loop is indicate to the column, and comparing to the first for loop is indicate the selected data, and second for loop to iterate all the rest of data and compare to them using bubble sorting technique, where the comparing to the second column of data. Okay, and which is greater to swapping technique to swap this both numbers. Okay, and return this two-dimensional array, return back to the this b variable. Okay, and after this getting we print this data in the single dimensional array and in the frequency occurrence. Okay, so now you understand how this solutions we do code. Okay, where we got program for sorting array element descending out of their frequency. That's the most important interview question, and many times is asked in the Java interview questions, and where they say that the no collection method are allowed to use there. Okay, so that's why here to create a input array element and sorted them. Okay, and after this sorting in the first step, second step to converting to the copy to the second dimensional array, where first column of this second dimensional array which represent to the number, and second column index is represent to the that's the occurrence of these elements. Okay, and after that in the third step we sorted this two-dimensional array in depending on their occurrence, and second column is the define the occurrence of the element, and to target this second column of this two-dimensional array, and sorted this, and we get a that type of two-dimensional array. Okay, and now in the fourth step we print this element in the dependency of this occurrence. Okay, so you know that the task is completed. Now in the next lecture we coming back to the next program and next concept and next different type of programs we do here. Okay, which is asked by the interview on the Java interview platform. Okay, so if you like this video, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Okay, so nice to meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.